ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नित्यानंद नमस्तुभ्यं प्रेमानंद प्रदायिने कलौ कल्मषनाशाय जानवापते नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतुसे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we are discussing from Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, chapter 3. We started chapter 3, Karma Yoga, and verse number first. So we read the purport also. Arjuna asks a question in this verse, Jayasi Cheta Karmanaste Mata Buddhir Janardana Tat Kim Karmani Ore Mam Niyojayasi Kesava. Arjuna said, O Janardana, O Keshav, why do you want to engage me in this constant warfare? If you think that intelligence is better than fruitive work. So this is the question. The next verse also Arjuna asks the question. Vyamishrena reneva vakchena buddhim mohayasi vame tadekam vada nishitya yena shreyam apnuyam. So my intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively which will be most beneficial for me. So Arjuna says, my intelligence is now bewildered. I am confused. I am unable to know what exactly I am supposed to do. So, because you gave two different kinds of instruction. First of all, you said that do not engage in abominable activity, and then uh, remain far away from avaram karma, abominable activities. And then you also inspired to get up and fight. So these two kinds of contradictory instructions you have given, and because of which my intelligence has become bewildered. So therefore, please tell me, tad ekam vada nishchitya. Tell me decisively. Nishchitya means certainly. Right? Tad ekam. Ekam means only once. One. What I'm supposed to do. Don't speak two things. Um, Sometimes it happens uh, when a disciple or a counseling who is not yet ready to fully follow the instructions of the superior. So superior may say, yes, if you feel it is good, you can do like this also. And then the second thing also is, yeah, if you want, you can do like this also. That is also all right. This is also all right. Whatever you feel like good, you do it. That means why a spiritual master may speak like this, because he knows uh, the person is not going to accept. He is going to do according to his own mind. So what is the use in unnecessary trying to convince him to do something which must actually be done? But Arjuna's case is not like this. Lord Krishna did not speak like this in a bewildering manner, Vyamishtreneva, equivocal. But Arjuna thought it like this. Arjuna thought that Krishna is speaking equivocally, means, yeah, if you want to avoid the fighting, you avoid, that is better. But your duty is also there, so if you want to fight, you can fight also. Uh, Arjuna thought that Krishna is speaking like this. But actually, Krishna did not speak like this. Krishna spoke very clearly in a straightforward way, clear cut way, what is most beneficial for Arjuna. Krishna spoke this, but somehow or other, because of not understanding completely the knowledge, Arjuna could not grasp, could not get it. So, but because he was a sincere disciple, so when doubt arrived, he immediately asked Krishna for clarification. So when we approach our superiors to clarify doubts, so that is also a sign of surrender. Otherwise, somebody may just if somebody doesn't understand what exactly must be done in his spiritual life, but instead of approaching and clarifying the doubt, if he just does whatever his mind says, that means he's not surrendered to the superior. But a person who is actually surrendered, so if he at all gets this confusion, doubt that what exactly I'm supposed to do for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna, so in that situation he comes and clarifies the matter and asks the doubt. So Arjuna, being very sincere disciple of Krishna, she immediately asked this question that, my dear Krishna, your different kinds of instructions have bewildered my intelligence, so I am unable to. Mohiyasi means you are bewildering. Krishna is bewildering. Uh, your instructions have bewildered me, so I am unable to understand what exactly you want me to do. So that's why, please, uh, tad ekam vada nishchitya. Vada means please tell me, ekam, only one thing, what I am supposed to do. Only one thing you tell me exactly. Nishchitya means nishchit roop, ascertaining. Yena shreya aham apnuyam. But you tell me what exactly I'm supposed to follow, exactly I'm supposed to do without hesitating. Don't think that this will, whether I will be able to do or not, or this will hurt me or not. No, no. You just tell me, I will follow whatever is really beneficial for me. You tell me, please. So this is what Arjuna is requesting Krishna, that yet Shreya Shyam Nishitam Rohit Tanmay. In the beginning of the second chapter, Arjuna asked Krishna to please, whatever is Shreya for me. Shreya means the real benefit. Whatever is really beneficial for me, please instruct me in that scientific knowledge. And when Krishna spoke exactly those things, but somehow or other Arjuna could not get it. So in the third chapter, second verse, again Arjuna is asking, Yena Shreya Aham Apnuyan. You tell me by which I can really be benefited. So yeah, this is also one of the very important lessons that when we approach superior authorities, especially spiritual authorities, so we should not ask for material benefit. We should ask whatever is our real benefit. A real benefit means spiritual benefit. What I'm supposed to do, how exactly I should act, so that uh, I may make a spiritual advancement, not just material advancement. Material advancement, if it happens, that's all right. But if material advancement doesn't happen, it doesn't matter. But spiritual advancement is very important. So that should be asked from spiritual authorities. So those who are serious for making spiritual advancement, so they uh, ask for this Shreya, Shreya Nishitan Rohitan Yan Yena Shreyam Apnuyam. So in the previous chapter, as a prelude to the Bhagavad Gita, many different paths were explained. In the previous chapter, Lord Krishna explained many different paths: Sankhya Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, control of the senses by intelligence, work without fruitive desire, and the position of the neophyte. All these things were discussed. So this was all presented unsystematically. So, so a more organized outline of the path would be necessary for action and understanding. So although Lord Krishna spoke everything, uh, but some or other for a devotee like Arjuna, because Arjuna is representing devotee like us in a conditioned state. So the second chapter, philosophy, does not go well with conditioned soul like us. So conditioned souls like us, we require a more organized outline of the path for better understanding or right course of action to be performed. So Arjuna therefore wanted to clear up these apparently confusing matters so that uh, any common man could accept them without misinterpretation. That is what is purpose behind Arjuna's asking the question in this chapter. So although Krishna spoke everything, uh, and Arjuna also could understand because Arjuna is the eternal associate of the Lord, so he can never become bewildered. But just for the sake of people in general, a conditioned soul, so Arjuna is asking this question so that these apparently confusing matters may be cleared up, uh, so that common man will come in the future. When as common man could accept them without misinterpretation, because it is a great disease of a conditioned soul that he is very expert in misinterpreting things, and especially when the matter is not cleared very in a very organized way and in a very detailed manner, then there is always this possibility that a common person, conditioned person, may misinterpret it and uh, and apply the teachings or knowledge in a manner to suit his desire for sense gratification. So Arjuna doesn't want that people should cheat themselves in the name of Bhagavad Gita. So he told Krishna that please explain these questions to the point clearly what exactly I'm supposed to do. So although Krishna had no intention of confusing Arjuna by any jugglery of words, Arjuna could not follow the process of Krishna consciousness either by inertia or by active service. In other words, by his questions, he is clearing the path to Krishna consciousness for all students who seriously want to understand the mystery of the Bhagavad Gita. So, although Krishna had no intention of confusing Arjuna, Krishna did not want Arjuna to get confused. He did not use any jugglery of words. Whatever he spoke, that was absolute truth. But Arjuna could not follow the process of Krishna consciousness as outlined in the previous chapter by Krishna. So either by Buddhi Yoga or by active service means Karma Yoga. So Krishna spoke the same subject matter, Krishna consciousness, through Sankhya Yoga also, and then uh, this Karma Yoga. But Arjuna could not get it. He got confused because he could not understand the purpose of both the yogas are the same. That's why the same thing will be spoken by Krishna in the next chapter, fifth chapter, that karma sankhya pratak bhava pravadanti uh, na vipashyata. Bala. Uh, Means those who are foolish, they think Karma Yoga and Sankhya Yoga are different. But those who are intelligent, they understand both are same because the purpose is the same. Means are different. Ultimately, the purpose is to understand Lord Vishnu. Is the ultimate goal of our life. So one may understand this using analytical study through intelligence. And somebody who has not developed such high level of intelligence to understand through analysis may come to the same level of understanding by engaging himself in the service of the Lord, which is known as Karma Yoga. And for people in general, especially in this age of Kali, this method is more simple. That's why would recommend Krishna will recommend this in the upcoming chapter that Arjuna, you should perform activities dedicated for my services and offer the result of your activities to me. In this way, you can attain perfection. This is the same thing. And while somebody who may be very intelligent, knowledgeable in Vedic literature, so he may not engage in any kinds of activities. So he may just through analysis understand that ultimately it's all the purpose of life is Krishna, and Krishna is the root of everything. So he may simply just surrender to Krishna completely, understanding very well through analysis. So the result is the same ultimately, either through Karma Yoga or through Jnana Yoga or Sankhya Yoga. One reaches to the same platform of perfectly understanding that Krishna is everything and everything is meant for his satisfaction, and I am his eternal part and parcel servant of Krishna. And in this way, after coming to this same understanding, the person becomes a pure devotee, and then he engages completely in the service of the Lord. So, but we are very fortunate by the mercy of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We have already been given that stage. You need not to come by yourself to that stage of understanding that Krishna is everything. The purpose of life is to become fully engaged in Krishna consciousness. So you just start it from wherever you get, wherever you may be situated. You start chanting Hare Krishna, you start discussing about Krishna, you start serving Krishna directly. So that is a perfectional stage actually. So Arjuna could not. In other words, by his questions, he is clearing the path of Krishna consciousness for all students who seriously want to understand the mystery of the Bhagavad Gita. So by asking the question, Arjuna is clearing the path of Krishna consciousness for all of us students of Bhagavad Gita who seriously want to understand the mystery of Gita. Okay, so with this we stop here. Thank you very much. Tomorrow we'll discuss how Krishna starts. He will explain Lok Yasmin Vidhanishta. Krishna speaks like this. Pura Proktamaya Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yogina. I already spoke, Arjuna, that two kinds of persons are there having two different kinds of faith. One may be inclined for Jnana Yoga, Sankhyanam, and another may be Karma Yoga. Okay, thank you very much, Hare Krishna. If you have any questions, you can ask.